I went off on a rant.
No, that's excellent. So, I mentioned I spent 20 years in the casino business, and when I give a keynote, it's called Lessons from Las Vegas. One day someone sat down to me and said, list all the things that you learned when you spent 20 years in the gaming industry living in Las Vegas and throughout the South. So I did that, and I was able to categorize 4 boxes, okay? And it was culture, communication, relationship, and leadership. And I think that introvert, extrovert, there's different cultures, right?
Yeah.
Communication is always important to build that relationship. You got to know what culture they're from to be able to do that. And then to gain leadership doesn't mean you're in charge. It means to gain the best information from your team, I think. Yeah. And you just described it the same way, so I'm totally on board with that. Where can people buy the book?
Right now, the best price is at the publisher's website, and that link is on my website, Patricia-Weber with 1B.com. But they should have it reduced. There was some miscommunication between the publisher, which is Pact Communications, P-A-C-K-T, and Amazon US. And so that's why I'm just directing everybody to keep going over to the publisher's website. They can get it in Kindle and get it in Barnes & Noble has a reader. So it's available in all kinds of readers, including downloadable PDF. So the publisher has been terrific in making it available in every way.
So I'm on your website, and you've written a few books.
Yeah, I know. I have other books.
So I'm really big on telling my listeners one thing. If you don't investigate people's websites, you can't complain about not being educated, because this is where all the information is found. Some of it's free, some of it you even have to pay for, but most of it is worthwhile. So, you have all types of books on there. I recommend getting Communication Toolkit. I think that's the one that people should take some time out to learn more about, because I think it not only helps them, but it helps them with their communication to everyone they run into, because, you have these different types of personality tests that tells you how to deal with this person and that person. Well, in most people's worlds, there's 2 types of people, them and the other people. And if you could understand the other people, it's easier to do business. And
and if you understand yourself better than what you think you do, then that even puts you further ahead, because now you can take how you do it better and make it work in the understanding of other people who are different than you. So we're definitely on the same track with that. Yeah, I've got hundreds of posts, and this week I started sharing chapter 1 from the book, and since it's a pretty long book, it's like 240 pages, so I said to the publisher, I want to put chapter 1 on my blog. I'm not going to do it all at once because it's about 10,000 words, but I'll chunk it down over the next few weeks so people can kind of see the difference between the way introverts and extroverts communicate. Neither one is bad. It's just different. That's all.
Well, I know that I went on your website. I signed up for your newsletter. Like I said, people can always unsubscribe.
Absolutely.
If it's not what they thought, but just imagine the information you could gain if you try it out. So, Patricia, we're out of time, and I'm surely going to invite you back to be on the show, because there's a lot more. How many books total have you written?
I think 6, Who knows? There might be others.
So there's a lot more information to get out of you yet. There's a lot of great blogs. Hugging into your next blog post could be what you need. There's just 5 top weekly blog posts.
Yeah, I do that every week.
Yeah, and to me, that's where you find out about people, is by the way they write. And if you follow along, there might be some similarities there. So do you blog on other people's websites?
Yes.
Are you asked to guest blog?
Yes, I am, and I think I have that over on my media tab on my website where I've been interviewed, where I've been asked to be a guest blogger. But, yeah, I get asked that all the time, and as long as somebody wants to take an introvert spin on their topic, I can pretty much do it because that's how I think. Yeah, using car analogy, that's how I roll.
Very good. Very good. Well, Patricia, before you head out, let everybody know two things, okay? One, how they can contact you.
Okay.
And two, a takeaway that they could use for the next 6 months of this year to better themselves.
Well, they can contact me right on my website. There's a contact page, and I do respond to those, so Patricia-Weber with 1B.com. And I guess a takeaway, in particular under the umbrella of this personality, don't label yourself because you might be putting the wrong label on yourself, or at least the meaning of the label could be wrong. You might be, just going back to your car talk, you might think you're a Chevy, but you might be a Ferrari. So have a couple of guardrails to get you there, and hopefully I'll be one of those guardrails for you.
Awesome. And, I thought about it when I asked you, I always ask people that question at the end, and I thought about, I didn't give you time to prepare.
That's pretty good for an introvert, huh?
I was going to say, I'm very impressed. I don't know, now you have me confused. So
I'm definitely an introvert.
Yeah, so, man, we'll have Patricia back on because there's got to be a fine line between being both or even having the split personality of that. So thank you so much for your time today, and we look forward to having you back on the show in the future.
Thank you, Tony. It's a pleasure.
Okay. We're going to take a commercial break, folks, and when we come back, we're going to bring up our second guest, a gentleman by the name of Victor Clarke. So stay tuned, refill the coffee, turn the paper over, take some more notes. We'll be right back.
So you think you're tough enough for Tough Talk with Tony Gambone? Tony knows how to dish it out. Can you take it? Tony Gambone is a communicator, mentor, and entrepreneur whose tough style and generous spirit quickly garnered recognition in many a competitive arena. Now he's bringing his intelligence and knowledge to you as a hard-hitting radio talk show host and thought leader. Tune in and see for yourself. Tough Talk with Tony Gambone. It's a sure thing. To find out more, go to toughtalkwithtony.com.
Are you an entrepreneur? Are you where you want to be? Do you believe that if you build it, they will come? Unfortunately, entrepreneurship doesn't work that way, and that's why you need to read Famous Isn't Enough. In this book, you'll find real-life situations and lessons learned. When all is said and done, there's nothing better than being your own boss. Remember, nothing just happens. You have to put in the work. Famous Isn't Enough is your roadmap. Get your copy today at www.famousisn'tenough.com.
Did you know that an estimated 52 million Americans listen to Internet radio in the last month? Or that weekly Internet radio audience has increased 60% over the last year, and that more than 8 in 10 people are online from any location? Tough Talk Radio Network is a company dedicated to providing a platform that allows opportunities for guests, hosts, and sponsors to market themselves to the Internet radio medium, where they can be heard by millions. To find out how Tough Talk Radio Network can help you, go to toughtalkradionetwork.com.
All right, welcome back to Workshop Wednesdays. My name is Tony Gambone. I'm your host here every Wednesday, 10:30 to 11:30 Central Standard Time. Just finished up a great interview with Patricia Weber with 1B. You can find out more by going to Patricia-Weber1B.com, okay? Patricia-Weber, and Weber spelled with 1B.com. Take a look at her books and let us know what you think. My next guest is Victor Clarke. He's an enthusiastic speaker, and, people find him very engaging and entertaining. He provides a lot of practical advice, and surely know on this show here we love practical advice. So let's welcome Victor Clarke to the show.
Hello, Tony. How are you?
All right. How are you today?
I'm doing great today.
So, Victor, I'd like everybody to learn a little bit about Victor before we dive into what it is that you do to make a living. So tell us where you're calling in from, where you're from originally.
I'm calling in from Lynchburg, Virginia, as we like to say, home of Jerry, not Jack, not Lynchburg, Tennessee, where they make Jack Daniels. We are home to Liberty University here, Jerry Falwell, Thomas Road Baptist Church in Lynchburg, Virginia. It's a beautiful place in central Virginia to live, to raise a family. My wife is from here. Grew up here, but I am originally from Alexandria, the northern part of the state, right across the Potomac River from Washington, D.C., and we bought a home on Smith Mountain Lake. Again, it's another beautiful place to live. Bought a printing business and since evolved it into more than printing over the last 20 years. So that's a little bit about myself.
Well, it's funny, Victor, I don't. People come on the show. They pick a date and a time to schedule themselves on the shows. And my first guest, Patricia Weber, is from Williamsburg, Virginia.
Oh, well, I went to the College of William and Mary, so I know it well.
Yeah. So I grew up in the Philadelphia area and I've been to Virginia Beach and Williamsburg, and as a kid on vacations and stuff. So it's a beautiful area there. But it's amazing how both guests are from the same area. I think I would advertise that maybe a little bit differently. But anyway, let's talk about the practical advice. You have a 20-year resume. It goes pretty deep. Okay, from the House of Representatives to the U.S. Senate. You've worked in these areas, I believe, in the computer industry, right?
Right. Well, when I graduated from William and Mary in Williamsburg, Virginia, my first job, I went to work for Xerox Corporation, and they had excellent sales and marketing training, and I really took advantage of that. And then over the course of time, I sort of evolved into and eventually got very lucky, very fortunate to land a job in federal government sales. And the big joke up around the Washington, D.C. area is the difference between federal government sales and civilian sales is that, you may not fire your gun very often, but when you do, it's an elephant gun and you bring down something very big when you sell to the federal government. And I was fortunate enough to be working for a company by the name of Zenith Data Systems back in the mid-'80s, and I'm sure everybody's familiar with the Zenith Electronics, the folks that made the television sets. Well, we were the same company, but we sold computers to the federal government. And one of my accounts was, back in the mid-'80s, was the United States House of Representatives and the United States Senate. And that's when personal computers and laptop computers were just really starting to take off, and I sold the first contract of laptop computers to the U.S. House of Representatives and the first desktop computers to the United States Senate. And I'm sure those are long gone, replaced by things that are 90% cheaper and 9,000% faster than what we sold in the 80s. But I got a little tired of that and traffic up in the D.C. area, even though that's where I'm from. My wife wanted to move home, so we bought a printing company here in Lynchburg, Virginia called Central Lithographic Printing. And we were, back in 1996, we bought it. And we were the classic, printing company. We had the big, ugly, gray 20-ton presses back there just clanking away, spitting out sheets of paper with ink on it. And as time has evolved over the last couple of years, particularly in the last 5 years, while printing is never, I don't believe, ever going to go away, it's just not as needed as it used to be. So I took it as an opportunity to evolve my company here. We changed the name from Central Lithographic Printing to Clarke Incorporated, to kind of take advantage of other marketing devices that are out there, web, email, those sorts of things. And what I noticed is that the old, we call it outbound marketing, which is what people are familiar with: printing, radio, TV, billboards, newspapers, yellow pages. That's kind of the term now called outbound marketing, where you push your message out to people, is being replaced by what's called inbound marketing, and that's websites, blog posts,